Hey, welcome everybody to the Puck Drops here. Sorry, I was in exam week. I really couldn't get a lot of time to really talk about the videos that I'm doing, but finally got a new one. I've told you we're going to we'll do the mock draft. I'll do some other content that I'm going to be doing on revisiting the conference champs that did not win the Stanley Cup the last 19 seasons, and we'll also be talking about a lot of other issues, the grading videos. Right now we got another prediction video. I wasn't able to do the other one, but this one's on Game 2, the Western Conference Final, which starts in about 4 minutes. It's the St. Louis Blues and San Jose Sharks, a rematch of the game that was played 3 years ago in 2016 that the Sharks won while they were the actual underdog. The St. Louis Blues come in now as the underdog, roles reversed, and we saw a really well performed game in Game 1. 6-3, the San Jose Sharks ended up winning that game. Game 1, I actually predict the Blues to win in 6 games, but for Game 2, the Blues, I believe, will come out swinging, and they're going to have to do it. They've been a really resilient team. They've won a lot of important contests on the road in hostile environments, in times that they were not supposed to win, not supposed to be in the game, and needed to win, like in Game 6 in the Western Conference semifinal in Dallas, and Game 5 in the Western Conference quarterfinal in Winnipeg. And they won in both those hostile environments and were able to take away those much-needed victories to continue their season. And you look on their skaters, will look at St. Louis's skaters right now. Ryan O'Reilly, of course, the big-time point getter and big-time guy. 82 games played for O'Reilly, and he has had 10 points, 3 goals, and 7 assists on amazing face-off, man. Only 2 penalty minutes, power play goal 1, and the shot goal are there as well. The big leader, Jaden Schwartz, he had a faulty regular season, but he's played in every single playoff game, and he scored 8 goals, including a hat-trick game in Game 6, including the game-winning goal against the Winnipeg Jets to eliminate them from further playoff competition, and with 4 assists to go for the leading point getter with 12 points. Alex Pietrangelo, the captain, the big-time defenseman that's been there for a long time, since 2008, he comes in with 14 games played, scoring 2 goals, 9 assists, and 11 points as well. That's a big time for a big-time defenseman. For Ryan O'Reilly, we said Dave Perron, the former Golden Knight, former Blue. Then he was picked in the expansion draft last year by the Vegas Golden Knights. And then he comes back to the Blues in free agency, and all he does in the playoffs is score 3 goals, 4 assists, and 7 points, and a great total. Bozak, another free agent they got from the Toronto Maple Leafs, plays in 14 games, and in his first conference final, he scored 3 goals this playoff year and 4 assists and 7 points as well. Colton Parayko, their large puck-moving D-man, played in every single game this year as well. He scored a goal and 6 assists for 7 points. Vladimir Tarasenko, their big leader, has had a down playoff year, but he's been there when he's had to be there, and he scored 5 goals, 1 assist for 6 points. The goals are a good amount for him. They're not elite, but they're a good amount for him. But the assists are got to be higher, and they will probably raise the level as the playoffs continue and the conference final goes through. Vince Dunn, another young forward for the St. Louis Blues, playing in 14 games, scoring a goal, 5 assists, and 6 points. Patrick Maroon, who got the game-winning goal in Game 6 against the Dallas Stars, and the series-winning goal, the double overtime magic against the Stars in Game 7. Scored 3 goals, 2 assists, and 5 points for the St. Louis native. Oscar Sundqvist, 14 games played, 2 goals scored, 3 assists, and 5 points. And Robert Thomas for the Blues played in 14 games, scoring a goal, 4 assists, 5 points. And one of the great players there. The only guy that's even played in the playoffs at all is Jordan Binnington, the rookie goaltender, has played in every single game, started every single game. He's 8-6 in the postseason against the Winnipeg Jets, the loss against the Sharks in Game 1 and against the Dallas Stars in the second round. He comes in with a 2.58 goalie average, a save percentage of .908, stellar for a rookie. He's been insane. He's going to be one of their key guys, obviously, in game number 2 tonight. The Blues, of course, we'll look again at their record. And they were third in their division, 45, 28, and 9. And we'll look at, obviously, the record doesn't mean that much now, and 8-6 in the postseason. But you take a look at the Sharks, who have home ice throughout the Western Conference, 46 and 27 and 9, second in their division. But the Sharks have had a great scoring opportunity, a great scoring play, and a great scoring touch. And one of the reasons why is that their second scorer, best power play guy that they've had in their team for a long time, is the defenseman Brent Burns. The defenseman being your quarterback, but also being your second highest scorer and your top guy in the power play is one of the rarer things you'll ever find in the history of the National Hockey League. And San Jose has that with Brent Burns. 15 games played all throughout the playoffs, 5 goals scored, and assists. I believe he scored a goal against the Blues in game number 1, and he had 15 points. And their top scorer, who has had so many great, numerous magical goals, overtime goals in the playoffs, and he had a bunch against Vegas this year as well, along with their second round meeting with the Colorado Avalanche. The top leading scorer, Logan Couture, he's played in 15 games, every single game, of course, 11 goals, tallying 6 assists and 17 points for Logan Couture to lead the team. Their young star, who's budding into a superstar as we speak, Tomas Hertl, he scored the game-winning double overtime goal against the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 6, the shorthanded one, to keep the Sharks alive and force a Game 7. He's played in every single game. He scored 9 goals, 15 assists, 14 points for third in the team. Timo Meier, another young quick star, has played 15 games, scoring 5 goals and 8 assists and 13 points. Injury played Erik Karlsson, the former Senator. He had some issues in the regular season, but once he got to the playoffs, a spot where he hadn't been in 2 years, he comes back with a bang. He hasn't scored a goal this postseason. He has not scored a playoff goal as a San Jose Shark, but he's gotten 13 assists, including a tip-in was one from Hertl against Vegas in Game 7. And another newly acquired Shark, a former Red Wing, Gustav Nyquist, who's played in the playoffs before. He's played 15 games. He scored a really great goal against the Colorado Avalanche early in that series last year. And he tallied 9 assists along with the 1 goal for 10 points. Joe Pavelski would have played more. He only played 9 games, but that was because of the injury that started the power play, the 5-minute major power play against Vegas in Game 7. He scored 4 goals, tallied 4 assists for 8 points, and Pavelski ended up getting the first goal that broke the ice in Game 7 against the Colorado Avalanche last round. And also, it's been 15 games played for the San Jose Sharks throughout the entire postseason, the most by any team in the National Hockey League. Evander Kane, former Jet and Sabre, he's played every single game for the Sharks. He scored 2 goals, 6 assists, and 8 points, which is a good amount. Kevin LeBanc, the native New Yorker, has played in every single game as well, scoring 4 goals, 3 assists, and 7 points. Marc-Edouard Vlasic, the defenseman, playing in 13 games. He's scored 3 goals, 4 assists, and 7 points. Big-time Joe Thornton, the looming veteran, played in every game except for one in this playoff year, scoring 2 goals, 5 assists, and 7 points. Marcus Sorensen, the Swede, scoring no goals but 5 assists. Barclay Goodrow also played in every single game this year, scoring 2 goals, including the series winner against the Vegas Golden Knights in the 5th period in the 7th game. And then a bunch of other lower-end players. Justin Braun, Brendan Dillon, and Melker Karlsson all played no goals for them, but combined four points for the three of them. And you look at the goaltenders and Arundel, because they were in some games where they were blown out, both against the Vegas Golden Knights. Arundel played some minutes. He lost that game, that one game, but Martin Jones has played and started every single game in this postseason for the San Jose Sharks. 9-5. His goalie average is 2.74. Save percentage, .909. Slightly under that of Binnington's under St. Louis. So obviously the goaltending edge you give to them. I'll actually do a new thing now, edges. Goaltend for this series, now that we've looked at the stats, goaltending I still give to St. Louis, even though they're in a hostile building and Binnington's a rookie. He's just been playing out of his mind. He had the worst game last game, but that could obviously change with anything that rises up. For the St. Louis Blues wingers and the San Jose Sharks wingers, the edge goes to San Jose. St. Louis is bigger, but San Jose has a much faster team on the wings with a Meyer and a Sorensen and a Hertel, just absolute stars. Center-wise, the only elite center that the San Jose Sharks possess is Joe Pavelski, as Joe Thornton. Some of the others have been regressing, and the center depth with guys like Ryan O'Reilly and Tyler Bozak and Pat Maroon are just incredible in St. Louis, and the edge goes to the Blues there at center. At defense, undoubtedly the San Jose Sharks. The Tampa Bay Lightning were the leaders in nearly every category in the National Hockey League this regular season, but they were not they were not owning the record of and the best statistic of longest ice time per defenseman, best statistics defensively per defenseman, most goals scored by defenseman, best plus minus by defenseman, or most points by defenseman, or most assists by defenseman. All six of those stats are all owned by the same team, the San Jose Sharks. The defense is like no other we've ever seen. I compare it kind of to the defense that the 97 and 98 Red Wing teams, those great teams. They had Larry Murphy. Take a look at a bunch of those other greats, Nicholas Lidstrom that the Red Wings had. The San Jose Sharks have a similar situation. They've got younger and older defensemen that can skate down the ice. They can play fast. They can hit you. They can stick check. They can do the simple things, block shots. They can do the things you need to do to win Stanley Cups. But they can also score at will. They're the most dangerous players. What I think right now, as we're speaking, the most dangerous player in the National Hockey League is Brent Burns. And he can score from any angle in the ice as a defenseman. He's the most dangerous offensive player on the San Jose Sharks, and he's a defenseman. And he can still hit, and he can still poke check. He can run a power play. It's insane. San Jose, the edge defensively. Besides that, I'll tell you the three things that San Jose's got to do to win this hockey game. The San Jose Sharks, they're going to need to pull as defense. They're going to need to be able to skate the Blues out of this rink. The Blues are a team that want to muck and grind you. If they can get the St. Louis Blues playing their game, going fast, outskating them, San Jose gets a 2-0 series lead, heading to the show-me state, skating away, rather. The goaltending cannot be suspect. If the Blues get going, Martin Jones is going to have a rough night. He has to play well. Martin Jones, for the San Jose Sharks. And the defense needs to bottle up three players. They got to bottle up Braden Shen. You got to bottle up Jaden Schwartz, and you have to bottle up Vladimir Tarasenko. He's not had a great year in this playoff run for the St. Louis Blues, but you have to bottle him up. You're going to have to hit him. You're going to have to show the pressure for the San Jose Sharks. Do that, and they've got 2 games under their belt in this Western Conference Final best of 7. The St. Louis Blues, you're going to have to draw the Sharks into to costly mistakes, either turnovers, either power plays for your team. You're going to have to draw them to make mistakes on their home ice, shut the crowd up, and capitalize, score on their mistakes. Similar to Martin Jones, Jordan Binnington has to play out of his mind. He's got to play like the absolute superstar goaltender he is. If not, San Jose wins this easily. But I think he will. I think Binnington will have an incredible game. And for the St. Louis Blues, the last thing they're going to need is they're going to need an insane penalty kill. I think just because of the way San Jose plays, they're going to commit penalties. You don't want any power play goals. If you give up one, that's one too many. You need to have a well-disciplined, smart, controlling penalty kill for the St. Louis Blues. You got to do what you got to do, and you have to do that. And with that, that will win the game. The score is going to be 3-0 in favor of St. Louis. No goals for the San Jose Sharks. Patrick Maroon will score a goal. Tarasenko will score a goal, and Schwartz will score a goal for the St. Louis Blues and tie the series up one game apiece, heading back to St. Louis. So hope you guys enjoy the game. I think I'm going to do some grading videos to show you guys, probably be at each intermission. You enjoy the game. And one last thing I forgot to talk about. I'm really sorry I didn't bring this up. I told myself I was going to bring it up earlier, and of course, you know, guys, by now, too, as the game has just started, to like, subscribe, and to like, subscribe, and watch as many times. Comment, really tell me what you think. And I'm just going to pull up this right now about the game. I have the betting odds and betting line. If any of you guys aren't really into hockey, really not into St. Louis Blues or San Jose Sharks, you just want to know the line. The money line is St. Louis plus 115, San Jose minus 135. The spread is St. Louis. You give them 1.5. San Jose is favored under 1.5. And the total 5.5 over -110, under -110 for the San Jose Sharks and the St. Louis Blues. So that the betting percentage for St. Louis is 27%, San Jose 73%. So we'll see for that game. So we guys enjoy game number 2, and have a good night. Happy hockey.